Hey everyone, welcome back to the Knowledge Emporium. We're thrilled to have you here with us today. Hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you're ready to dive into some serious geopolitics. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Today, we're talking about a diplomatic drama that's got the world watching. Canada versus India. This is a story that has layers of complexity and intrigue. It all started with a bang. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau dropped a bombshell accusation that has reverberated across the globe. He pointed the finger at India, claiming their agents were involved in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. This is a serious allegation that has far-reaching implications. Nijjar, a prominent Sikh leader living in Canada, was found dead earlier this year. His death has been a focal point of tension. His death sent shockwaves through the Sikh community, leaving many in mourning and demanding answers. Now, Trudeau's accusations have sent shockwaves through the world. The international community is watching closely, and reactions have been swift and varied. This isn't just another news story, folks. This is about international intrigue, accusations of covert operations, and a diplomatic standoff with potentially huge consequences. The stakes are incredibly high. Buckle up. This is big, guys. Like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell big. So let's unpack this. We're going to delve deep into the details, the reactions, and what this means for the future of international relations between these two nations. Trudeau didn't just throw out accusations into the void. He claimed to have intelligence backing up his claims. This intelligence, according to Canadian officials, suggests Indian agents were operating on Canadian soil and that they were involved in the assassination of a Canadian citizen. We're talking cloak and dagger stuff, people. The kind of intelligence that usually stays locked in the deepest, darkest vaults of spy agencies. Think Jason Bourne, but with samosas and maple syrup. The Canadian government has been careful about revealing the exact nature of this intelligence. They're playing their cards close to their chest. But the fact that they're willing to risk a major diplomatic crisis suggests they believe they're holding a strong hand. Here's where things get interesting. While Trudeau and his team maintain they have credible intelligence, they haven't made it public. No smoking gun, no declassified documents, no dramatic press conference with giant poster boards connecting the dots. This lack of concrete, publicly available evidence has raised eyebrows. India wasted no time in demanding that Canada put up or shut up. Show us the proof, they said, or stop with the accusations. This is where the plot thickens. International law is a messy business. Proving a foreign government's involvement in an assassination on another country's soil is no easy feat. It requires a mountain of evidence, the kind that can stand up in court, not just in the court of public opinion. India's response was swift and sharp. They flatly denied any involvement in Nijjar's death. They called the allegations absurd and motivated. Basically, they threw shade so hard it could be seen from space. India claimed there was no evidence to support Trudeau's claims. They accused Canada of harboring anti-India elements and using the allegations to appease certain political factions. But it wasn't just talk. India took action, expelling a senior Canadian diplomat. It was a clear message. This is serious, and we're not backing down. Section 5. He said, she said, a tale of two perspectives. So we have two countries, two leaders, and two very different stories. Who's telling the truth? Canada insists they're acting on credible intelligence. They say they've raised their concerns with India through diplomatic channels. They've called for a joint investigation to get to the bottom of Nijjar's death. India, on the other hand, denies everything. They say Canada is playing politics, pandering to Sikh voters and trying to tarnish India's reputation. They've dismissed the allegations as baseless and harmful to the relationship between the two countries. It's a classic case of he said, she said. But the stakes are incredibly high. This isn't just about one man's death anymore. It's about trust, diplomacy, and the future of Canada-India relations. Section 6. Five Eyes Watching. The Intelligence Alliance. Adding another layer to this already complex story is the involvement of the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance. This alliance is not just any ordinary group. It is a powerful network of intelligence agencies from 5 of the world's most influential countries. For those unfamiliar, the Five Eyes is an intelligence sharing pact between the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. This alliance was originally formed during World War II and has evolved into a sophisticated and highly secretive network. Think of it as the world's most exclusive intel club, where the members share some of their most sensitive and classified information to protect mutual interests. Reports suggest that Canada shared its intelligence on the Nijjar case with its Five Eyes partners. This move indicates the level of trust and cooperation within the alliance, and that these partners, or at least some of them, found Canada's assessment to be credible. This is huge. It means that the intelligence provided by Canada was taken seriously and validated by other top intelligence agencies. It means Canada isn't alone in its suspicions. The backing of such a powerful alliance adds significant weight to Canada's claims. The US, in particular, has been cautious in its public statements. This cautious approach is typical of the US when dealing with sensitive international matters. They've expressed concern over the allegations, but stopped short of pointing fingers at India. This diplomatic tightrope walk is a strategic move to maintain international relations while addressing the issue. However, even this cautious approach speaks volumes. It indicates that the US is taking the allegations seriously, even if it is not ready to make a public accusation. The US doesn't usually side against its allies, especially not publicly. This situation highlights the delicate balance of international diplomacy and the significant role of intelligence alliances in shaping global narratives. Section 7. From cordial to confrontational. A G20 Showdown. The tension between Canada and India spilled onto the world stage at the G20 summit. Trudeau and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi came face to face, and let's just say it wasn't pretty. Trudeau reportedly confronted Modi about the allegations, urging him to cooperate with the investigation. Modi, in turn, expressed his concerns about Canada's handling of the situation. The body language, the terse statements, the icy stares, it was diplomatic frostbite, folks. The world watched as two leaders who were once all smiles and handshakes could barely look at each other. Section 8. Bridges burned, the expulsion. The diplomatic fallout from this whole affair has been swift and severe. India, as we mentioned, expelled a senior Canadian diplomat. Canada responded in kind, expelling an Indian diplomat in a tit-for-tat move. This expulsion of diplomats is a big deal. It's a serious diplomatic maneuver, usually reserved for major disagreements and breaches of trust. It's a sign that both sides are digging in their heels and the situation is far from resolved. The impact on Canada-India relations is undeniable. Trade talks have been put on hold. Travel advisories have been issued. The once warm relationship between these two countries has gone ice cold. Section 9. The Pannun Parallel. Another case, another country. Adding another layer of intrigue to this whole saga is the case of Gurpatwant Singh Pannun. Pannun is another Sikh separatist leader who, like Nijjar, was living abroad and advocating for an independent Sikh state. However, unlike the Nijjar case, the US has publicly acknowledged India's concerns about Pannun. The US Department of Justice recently announced charges against Pannun for allegedly plotting attacks in India. This case highlights the complex web of international relations at play. While the US seems to be taking India's concerns seriously in the Pannun case, they've been more cautious in the Nijjar case. It's a reminder that international relations are rarely black and white. Section 10. The Aftershocks, a world watching. So what does this all mean? The accusations, the intelligence, the diplomatic standoff. It's a lot to unpack. The world is watching with bated breath as these events unfold, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The relationship between Canada and India is at a crossroads. Trust has been broken, and it's unclear how or if it can be repaired. Both nations have a long history of cooperation, but this recent turn of events has cast a shadow over their future interactions. The international community is watching closely, with many countries caught in the middle. This situation has far-reaching implications. Allies and adversaries alike are weighing their options, considering how this diplomatic rift might affect global alliances and power dynamics. It raises questions about state-sponsored violence, the limits of diplomacy, and the role of intelligence agencies in international relations. How much influence should these agencies wield? And what are the ethical boundaries they must adhere to? It's a stark reminder that in the 21st century, the lines between domestic and foreign policy are blurrier than ever. Decisions made within one country can have ripple effects across the globe, impacting economies, security, and even cultural exchanges. That's it for today, folks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Your engagement helps us bring you more in-depth analysis and coverage of important global issues. And as always, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay woke. In a world that's constantly changing, being informed is your best tool for understanding and navigating the complexities of our time.